Good day, people of God. And in today's video, I just want to give you a feedback of what the Lord told me. For those of you who sent me some prayer requests, there were some words or some prophetic words that the Lord gave me concerning your situations. And this video is not only for those whom I was praying for even if you realize your situation, it will be similar to what I'll be talking about. This is also a prophetic video where you'll be having some encouragement or some answers to your situation, as long as it's a similar situation. As I realize it will be difficult for me to respond to you one by one back into those conversations, looking back into those emails and those DMs in my Instagram. So I would like to respond to you. Of course, I won't be mentioning your names, but if you realize you told me a similar situation, this will most likely be an answer to your situation of what you asked me to pray for. And also, if you have a similar situation, just know that it will be an answer to what you've been asking God to give you an answer for. So yes, first of all, in this prophetic response, or in the response, the answers that God gave me is someone was asking me to pray in with regard to a certain relationship, which was not going on well. And in fact, it was going on well. It started all going so well, but then in the meantime, someone the person or the guy lost a loved one or a family member or something like that, and then things started not working out well, since the person has been dealing with grieving their lost family member. So you've been worrying about it and you've been stressing about it, and may God help, because that relationship was so promising and all. So as I was praying for this situation, what came into my spirit as I was praying, first of all, it was a question. It was a question I had for myself, like wondering, and something that came into my spirit. I believe also God could have been encouraging me to tell these words, or it was a word of wisdom from God, is looking at that guy like someone like this. I don't know how long now this has been going on, but I believe when you are in a relationship and your partner loses a family member or a loved one, it does not really stop you guys from continuing with your relationship, if it's God ordained or if it's a good relationship. So if that person has been not maybe giving you the attention, even though you find out now it's been a month, or it's been a month ever since they lost that family member or that loved one, it means also the words that I feel like I have, if I feel like it could be that they also have lost interest in you, not because the problem is because they lost somebody, but also they have a problem with you. It means all along they are not connecting, they are failing to connect with you, and they're just no longer interested. That's what I'm trying to say. And also, when I was praying, I tried to search, okay, that possibly this could be my own thinking, but then in my spirit I never really felt when I tried to pray, and I felt like I might be wrong, of course, as sometimes there's a thin line between what you feel like it's in your mind when you're praying and all. But then I believe, as I was in an attitude of prayer, like there could be a possibility that you found that guy is also no longer that interested. So don't stress too much about it. Don't worry, don't blame the situation, that if because they lost somebody, do not blame it on the situation. But that person could also be having a problem. Maybe all along they were not having an excuse, a reason to maybe to separate from you, and now they finally got an excuse. If somebody really loves you, they're gonna be with you even when they've lost somebody. They will want you to be there for them. So yes, I'm saying this, but still there is a possibility this person might change their mind. Maybe they needed a certain space, and if there was serious love in them, in that guy, in that person, he will eventually come back to you. He will eventually come back. So if he doesn't, don't blame it on the situation. No, you will, just like even if you were married or you were staying together, obviously at some point in life you will lose somebody close, a relative and all. So that doesn't mean that one partner will have to be quiet for the whole year and no longer talk to you, the relationship will be affected. No, it means once the relationship gets affected like that, the person also has a problem. So don't worry about it. Just pray that if it's demonic influence and so to affect your future, like for you to get married and all, I can just encourage you to pray about it, that may it work out and may everything that interferes stay out of the way. But don't worry, it's not your problem. The problem is with the person. And if they come back, then it means finally their minds have been made up and all. So also going to the next person, someone was complaining about whom can I start with? Okay, there was somebody who was let me say, they were complaining about a loved one. Like they said they got back the lady said she got back together with this man or her husband, something like that. Yeah. So but then she said they're always in conflict and they're arguing, something like that. She said something like which has to do with them not having peace and so forth. And they just got back together. I think it was in July, if I recall well. So, but then what came to me as I was praying about that situation was that I don't know if I misread what she said to me, but she said something like, or you said something like, if you're watching this video, about, I think you're also arguing, fighting with your husband or your man. So what also came to me was you should also, as we're praying about it, you should also look at what are the causes of your fights with your partner. What causes you to fight? Because if indeed you are praying about it, you want God to intervene, you should also check on what is it that makes you fight, the two of you. And if you know what is it that makes you fight, since you want the two of you to have peace, it means you also have to play a huge role in making things work between you two. If it means that you have to be more submissive, even when it's the one who started those fights, who started those conflicts, who's not behaving, it means you must find a way where you try to bring peace by all means. I won't claim to you to right now that I know about how to make marriages work and all. No, I won't claim. The only thing that I can really help is to pray and give advices there and there where I feel like God is allowing me, but I won't act as an expert. Or the only part where I can act as an expert is when it comes to dating before marriage. Because you see, with dating, it's easy. I can just tell you to just dump the person because you're not married. But with marriage, I don't want to promote or condone divorces. So sometimes it's difficult to deal with that. I've been I've just read the one book so far. Some things I just have a few knowledge when it comes to marriages. So as long as I get more wisdom, the Lord allows me, I'll try to educate myself as much as I can when it comes to marriages and how to deal with issues like that. But what I can say so far is sometimes also on this other book about marriages that I read, you will find that what causes you to fight is a misunderstanding between you as a couple, as partners in that marriage. So what I can advise you to do is also look at sometimes what is it that causes a fight. So you look at your partner. If you realize the reason you fight is because you misunderstand one another when it comes to 1, 2, 3, it's good that you also come to a point where you be like, you know what, let me try to compromise. Even when he tells me 1, 2, 3 or tells me this and that, let me try not to always fight back with him, because you want peace. And you see, just observe what will happen when you do that, and you'll be surprised that now, just because it feels like you are listening to him, now you don't fight back, you are kind of submissive towards him as a wife. He will feel more like, okay, like respected. You won't feel like you're trying to take his authority as the head of the house, so it's or as the head of the relationship. Because sometimes some men, you are always fighting because he wants to be a lion, in the relationship or that marriage you're talking about, and you find that you also want to behave like a lion, and then you guys, your egos, they end up clashing. So try to look at your situation as deep as this is what just came to me. And if you realize there are things which you can compromise, just look at things which you can compromise on and things which you cannot tolerate. Then try to tolerate even when he provokes, and you notice that you get angry when he provokes you and all. Try to hold it back, and even when you know he's wrong, try to just for the sake of peace. And I believe you'll begin to see changes. Unless if I didn't really get the situation so well, but this is just the advice that came to me as I was praying, which I believe God was influencing me to give you in your situation. So, but then if you feel like some things are not so clear and all you would want to understand, just DM me. And also, going to the third person, this is going to be a long video, but it has to. I have no choice. But also the third person that I want to talk to is somebody who was worried about like being lonely. Like you've been praying for so long, and you want God to answer you. Like you don't know what's going on in your situation. You've been feeling lonely and you want God to intervene and help you to find the right partner. So yes, I've been praying about that, and the only thing that came to me when I was praying for your situation is also it's important. I also learned this, I can't say the hard way, but I also learned this along the way. Along the way. I learned this along the way that you can be praying. There are relationships which are affected by the enemy of our progress, the devil, Satan himself. And there are relationships where you find that there is nothing wrong. It's like there are no demonic forces affecting or intervening in your relationship, but you find that you just have to change an attitude towards the people who approach you or whom you approach to start a relationship with. So sometimes you find that we have bad behaviors. That's why it's important to also learn on what makes somebody or people be more attracted to you. Hence, you also have to play a role in making somebody be interested. So what am I going with this is in your situation, when you realize you've been lonely for so long, also look at your surroundings. Have you been putting some effort into exposing yourself from people to approach you? Or have you been putting yourself, just as some of you, your names, the way you put them, I can't tell whether I'm talking to a male or female, but I believe maybe it was a female, I'm not sure. But yeah, if your situation is similar to this, I'll use this as a he or she, just because I'm not sure exactly if I was talking to a man or a lady. Your names, you never, sometimes some of you don't tell me your real names, and you just tell me your the names of your, what is this? Yeah, the names that I get when you comment, and when you something like that. When even in your emails, I don't get, sometimes you give me your initials. So yes, in those situations, it's so important to look at what really causes you to fight. I mean, sorry, I'm not talking about fight. I'm still thinking of the last person, sorry. What causes people not to maybe approach you as a woman? And that's what I'm saying, this can also be a general advice. And what happens maybe when you approach, if a man can approach a woman, and what makes them to lose interest? So it's good for you to keep yourself or your behavior, your habits in order, and expose yourself enough to be approached, so that someone who likes you, they can have access to you. You find some ladies, for example, you find that she's too rude. She hardly gives people her numbers. She will first have to question them, make them pass a certain test in order for her to speak nice. She has to test him if whether he's gonna respond to this how long, ask him different testing questions. Some people, they end up being discouraged and losing interest. Just like some people, you find that they don't have time to play games and all, so you feel like maybe when you play games they're gonna be more interested. And some people, they lose interest not because they don't like you, but because you are playing so much games and you don't have time for that. They have an abundance mentality, and you find that it's not like they are desperate and all. So check yourself, do everything you can to make sure that, remember, there's a difference between dating random people and just getting to know somebody. So allow yourself to observe some people, put them close enough to observe them enough, and then when you realize they are not the ones, you can just push them. Don't pull them too much inside where now it will be hard to push them out. No, you must find a proper skill to allow anyone who kind of shows you interest and you feel like you're also interested to approach you. Don't be so rude when you're at the mall going around. Make it a point that anyone who wants to approach you, who likes you, they feel like you're approachable. So yes, please check that. I want you to also begin to shift yourself and learn how to make yourself approachable, and how to appear more interesting. Even when you're talking, learn to not turn people off when you're getting to know them. So that is the advice I feel like I have for you. I've been praying for you. As long as the Lord removes anything that fights your marital life, then it's now up to you. As a guy, you can't pray and say God is going to bring that woman. I also, as a guy, have to learn to talk to women and learn not to turn her off. It will be easy for me to just be anyhow when now she's attached and all. It won't be easy for her to just one way, then she'll be like, nah, I don't want to be with you, or I want a divorce if we're married. So yes, check that up. As well as also there's another lady. Let me go to the fourth person. Yeah, there's another lady with a similar situation. She's been stressing and losing hope about her relationship, that maybe God doesn't like her, God is not answering her concerning her marital life at all. So yes, that's a similar advice. Don't close yourself so much, and where you feel like God was just gonna, you feel, and you end up feeling like you're using faith that God is just gonna bring that man, is gonna knock at your door, is gonna find you find that you have even locked yourself inside, where a man has to find keys to unlock. No, some men, they won't do that. Yes, because some women, they do that, and you find that they learn the hard way that the moment they pushed hard, they end up not winning over those women. So some don't use those things as a formula that you want to play it hard and all, but learn to know yourself also. Go like, what could be the things that are making some men run away from you? Why can't they stay? Sometimes you find that maybe because they feel like like, you learn yourself, like, even as guys, sometimes we learn ourselves that, okay, sometimes when you act so desperate and so needy, you start buying a lady flowers out the early stages, she feels like you are moving too fast, and that's when she loses interest. And you find that there's nothing wrong with that, but you just have to learn to relax and make it feel comfortable enough to feel like, okay, this guy is not rushing. And then you find out your relationship, once you start doing that, they never get ruined. I even have a friend, ladies, they do like him, but you find that the moment he gets serious, those women, they always run away from him. And one thing I feel like I've observed from him, I feel like it's because the moment it becomes too serious, those women, it becomes too much to them and they lose all of them. But you find that when it's not, it feels like it's just playing, women, they stick around. And that's when I realized, I think this could be his problem, and he doesn't notice. So some men, for example, or some people, naturally, just because they're heartless enough, you find that they're too relaxed, and some, even if they're not heartless, but it's just part of their nature, find that they're just relaxed, and that behavior makes people to stay with them. So check yourself up. Try to find the best advices that you can, or the best lessons you can on how to conduct yourself well, and so that men can stick with you, and so that men can see you as attractive. And because there are ways that there are things that makes us men to be attracted to women, and feels like, yeah, she's approachable, let me just give it a shot. And don't be scary, don't be rude, learn to talk, learn those things, and look at yourself. If you realize you've been doing all those things, then it means the only thing that remains is prayer. Because sometimes you might do the right things, but you find out everyone, when they look at you, you're so handsome, you're so beautiful, but they don't like you. But you wonder, what is it that they can't see? I have all the money. If you're a guy, you have everything that can attract people, but they don't. So it means you have to pray in that case. So you can pray, find out in the spirit everything is cool. Now physically you have to act. You see, faith without actions is dead. So you have to put actions. So once you can have faith and you have actions, then you are done. If you can pray, it's already in the spirit, and you can have your actions in order. Yes, that's why it's great. Some people, yes, they don't do anything. Someone just comes, and their actions are the ones that are gonna make those people come. Even if someone can just come when you are seated at your home, at your doorstep, you see, someone just come knocking at your door, and they like you. It happens. But you find that some, they lose interest just because your behavior. So now this takes me to the fifth person. Someone asked me to tell them on the exact partner, how will their husband look like, how will their partner be like. And with this, one thing that I can advise you on, or one thing that I can tell you is, when I was praying about it, I won't claim that I'm someone who, if a prophetic word is to come, I can just describe that they will be wearing yellow, blue, blah, blah, blah. No, I won't claim. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't also communicate with me. Because, real prophecy itself, a real prophecy never comes by the will of man, but by the will of God. So you can pray that God reveal this, and then God does it. You can't just claim, I can just, no. So what I can say, what the Lord has put in me to also give you on, like some of you, I remember one lady, she also made a comment that she saw some man in a dream, and then she ended up seeing him in person. So this is the advice that I also want to get. I once also experienced that, then I learned that is also another means in which God communicates with me, or how he communicates, yes, exactly, with me. So you want to know the description of the person, your future, when are you going to get that man? When is he going to show up in your life? So what I've learned is that in the past, I also once had a dream where I just saw myself holding hands with this other lady. She was from church, but I had never thought maybe I liked her or anything like that, no, or fantasized about her, no. But then having that dream, I was like, it is coming out of nowhere. I haven't been thinking about her, but then quickly, and it was the first time maybe something like that happens, and then a word just came that it could be that this lady is interested in you. We were just holding hands, that's all. That's the image I remember. And indeed, you know what I did? Oh yes, and before then I had previously, yes, the thing that made me realize that God is telling me this lady likes me is because previously I had a dream where I was still holding another hand, or we were hugging with this other lady who was a friend of mine. And then I didn't believe it. I was like, come on, she doesn't seem like she's interested in me. But then as time went by, I learned that lady was interested in me, I found that for sure that she was interested. So I learned that, okay, when God is also showing me, when I have such dreams, those are prophetic dreams that tells me that someone has an interest in you. You can score that person. You stand a chance. So from that lady that I dreamt, I just started giving her some attention. After church, I would just greet her, and then I was so surprised. Next thing, she's also now so nice towards me, and then I ended up finding out that she really liked me, and I remember the relationship was so awesome. And I remember one advice that I once gave in another video is that, like, God is not, you won't force somebody to be with you when they feel like they no longer want to be with you, even if that person is the right one for you. God has given men free will, so a person they can just decide to pull back when they feel like. So God won't force them, even if they are the right person for you. So yes, along the way in that relationship, it was so awesome. Honestly, I feel like I didn't put enough effort for it to last, and I believe if I had also done my part knew they matured enough by like how I am in this present time, that relationship could have even led into marriage the way it was. We were really connecting. It was like I could tell this is a soulmate. But yeah, because even that the lady, even now, she did try to come back into my life, but a lot of things just changed, and I felt like no, I don't think it can really work. A lot of change, I just won't say it here. What if she's watching? But maybe she knows who I'm talking about her. But there were things which were making me feel like nah. But all in all, what led me into her is the dream God showed me, and even today I believe that was also a potential partner for me. And so I knew that God won't force me. When I feel like I've lost interest, God will have to now begin searching for the next person who can be compatible. That's why some people can be married, they are pastors, but they end up divorcing, you see, and they never get back together. It shows that the devil is the one who makes people divorce, and if one of the partner doesn't cooperate, you won't be forced. If you feel like you don't want, even yourself, now you can be sent somebody whom God knows you can be right with, but just because you want this type of people, you want somebody who's rich, who's too beautiful, and you have your own description in your mind, you have set your mind to want this thing, you can ignore the voice of God, the calling of God, and decide to do your own thing. You see, so God will, at the end of the day, just like the devil, when he backslid, he just made this choice that he want to backslide, and he was thrown out of heaven. So one thing that I would advise you to look at when it comes to a description is I don't know your situation. Have you ever been in a position where like you had a dream or you felt it? Some of you might just feel it, or you have ways in which God communicates with you, and you just knew that, yes, I feel like God is saying this is the right person. He is the right person for me. So for example, if you've been in a situation where like it was in a form of a dream, I believe that there's a good chance that God was signaling to you that that man there is also interested in you. It can work out. He can be the right partner for you. So you might find that description you're looking for has already been given, but unfortunately you find out at the time you were not aware on how to act upon it. But if you still know that, if the person is still there and you still know that person, that man, I say, like, remember that dream you had and just try to do things that would make any man begin to suspect that maybe this lady likes me, and then he makes a move on you. So follow that up. If you have never had a dream, what I can say is just continue praying about it as well. And also, whenever it comes to my spirit, when I'm praying, I will also be praying about it for God to reveal. Sometimes it might not come in the form of a dream. It's not a must, but I'm just saying that if you've been in that position and maybe it didn't work out, that maybe that man didn't approach you, then it could be that maybe you did not avail yourself enough for him to notice. Maybe he just felt like maybe you're not interested, and then he started to think, maybe this. So that could also be a way in which God can be describing that man for you, without having to first see a vision. You see how it looks, and how he looks and all. Because even a lady who once said this, she was like, she even saw him, how he looks and all, but she did not have the courage to approach him. And she said by the time she was already in a relationship with some man. So it was hard. Like, that's why I say, like, God can reveal to you, but it's all up to you whether you decide to move out of the relationship you currently on, or you just continue and be like fearful and not approach the person. As a woman, of course, you must wait for a man to approach you, but there are things which you women also do to make a man notice you. So at the end of the day, it will be up to you what you do about it. God can reveal to you via a vision, or via a dream, or somebody tells you, or via a confirmation. You just feel like there's this connection, there is this peace that you feel inside of you. Then you make a move. At the end of the day, you make means, you do something that can make that man notice you or that person notice you. So dreams can be like that. So that's how God can describe it to you. So I just said, I don't know your situation. I never spoke with you further about it. I don't know if maybe you've already had a vision, or you've already saw somebody, or there was somebody whom you felt like could be the one. So just remember all the advices that I've been giving others as well. If you find that there was somebody whom you felt was the right one, but it didn't seem like he was interested, or he approached you and all, so remember, do something also about it. Do something about it. I hope this is well understood. And also, could this be the final person? I'm not sure. I'll try to think deeper. But then also, there's this lady who said, she told me about a man whom she met back in 2017, but she further explained things after I had prayed about it, and already when I had these answers. So when I read the email, like, you said something about the man you met in 2017, if I recall well, but now you said you also mentioned some challenges in your relationship, and you would like to know the will of God, and it seems like it's a man who loves God and all those things. But now also one of your challenges is like you're in different provinces. So what I can say, the only thing that came to me, or the only what I felt in my spirit as I was praying, is that with such a relationship, you were worried if it's gonna work out, or the challenges, and you've been wanting God to do His will and to intervene. So what I can say is, like, in your situation, I just feel like I haven't felt maybe a resistance of some negative spirits and all. But what I felt was that it could be in a situation where, like, the only thing that came is, if your relationship is God influenced, or if your relationship not necessarily God influenced, of course that's what we want at the end of the day, but if your relationship is strong and it is the will of God, you will see when it survives these challenges. This is what I was trying to say all along. For your relationship to survive these challenges, then this will be the answer for you. So do not worry about whether it is going to work out or what. Your answer, as your relationship pushes forth, moves forward through these things that you are coming across, just keep on praying, asking God's grace for God's grace. And the time when you finally overcome all these things and you end up being married, for you to conquer whatever will be your challenges. Maybe some things you didn't tell me, but as you conquer these challenges, that is the answer for you. If you do not conquer these things, then it means your relationship from the get-go, the foundation was bad and there was nothing. It just appeared as if it was a strong relationship or a promising relationship, but there's nothing. So what I can encourage you to do is to keep on praying for your relationship, for you to conquer these challenges, because these challenges, they come even when you are married. There is no relationship without challenges, but for you to conquer these challenges, it shows this proves on how your relationship is strong, or how your marriage is strong. So pray about it, pray as hard, and yes, somehow I feel like I want to believe, or I feel like I'm convinced that this could be a real relationship, which is promising, which is divine and all. So, but at the end of the day, you have to pray. At least for you don't have to worry about some people who still have to get in a relationship and make someone stay interested in them and all. You already have a relationship. Just do what is necessary to make a relationship work, even when it's a long distance. Even when it comes through across challenges, don't give up so easily, and do whatever it takes to keep it alive, so long as it's not something which is abusive, those things which can be I'm failing to come up with a proper word. So long as it's not I don't want to use the word abusive, but so long as it's not a toxic Yeah, that's what I want to say. So long as it's not a toxic relationship, so long as challenges are reasonable challenges, plus you're not yet married. So I can't say force it. No. If it's toxic, then I can't encourage that. So long as it's not toxic, so long as those are the common challenges. So yes, I think that's what I would say to you. Who else needed my prayer? Yes, there are people who've been asking me to pray for their marriages, and someone also, as I recall, you said your relationship or your marriage, you need a restoration. It's been 3 years. I remember that prayer request very well, and I've been praying about it as well, and I will keep on praying about it. I feel like I should pray more about it. So, but then what I can encourage you is that, like, you go on, pray for your marriage. Yes, go on, and you could keep on praying for your marriage. And it seems like your husband, they've been gone and all. Some of these things are like, they just need patience. They just need patience, Sometimes it might not happen overnight and all. You just have to keep on praying, and God is going to restore. He's going to finally realize, just like that person that Jesus was giving a parable with, where he told his father to give him all his riches so that he can go away, and then he went away and spent it with people, and he overspent this money until when he realized he went broke, and he started to even eat with pigs and all those things, and then decided one day that it's better I go back to my father and be a servant rather than the life that I'm now living at this moment. So as he went back, his father took him back, welcomed him in, and even made a celebration for the return of his lost son. So this is what's coming up to me as now I'm telling you this. So even with your husband that left, all you have to do, some things you cannot control, but you can pray that it comes back. If he feels like maybe, I even know the story of this other pastor, and it is currently, he had left his wife and he married another woman, but they only been in a marriage for some few years, and that woman was devastated and all. But then recently I just heard that they are back together. He left that new wife and went back to the original wife. So, and she was devastated. She's been stressed, and that woman was so in hell, So, but then you see, like, at the end of the day, her prayer has been answered. The man left, the husband left, and then, but finally along the way, the man ended up realizing, there's a difference here. Like, the real woman I had was the other one. So he came back. So even to your situation, I pray that may the same grace applies to you. May the husband realize everything that is wrong. If he's with another woman, may realize everything that is wrong with that other marriage or another relationship, if it's in a relationship, and may he come back to you. All you have to do is be patient. Don't stop praying about it, and the moment he gets the air that he wants, some people just want to breathe, they feel like they need some space. The moment he feels like he has had enough and he realizes everything wrong with that false marriage or false relationship is at with that woman, he will come back home where he belongs. So don't stop praying about it. Just be patient enough. That's what I can tell you. Don't worry. I believe God is gonna restore. You'll be surprised when he wants you back, and also don't push him, don't force him. If you find that you are forcing it and he's just further pushing you away, give him that space, and then when he comes back to his senses, he will come back. Don't give him pressure, because the moment you give him pressure, you are delaying the process. It feels like he's still breathing on his neck, and he feels like he just needs to be away from you. So the moment you give him that space, he will come back. You will have enough time to think and come back to you. So yes, that's also something for somebody. What else? Did I forget something? Just that I didn't want to write down. I felt like it was gonna be too long, and I don't like writing down, So that's why I didn't write down. But I feel like I've covered most, or if not all of the people whom I wanted to include in this video, or it's gonna be much longer. But yeah, the most important I covered. But if you still feel like you need answers to your prayers or some things I didn't cover you, just email me or DM me on my Instagram or comment on the section below, and perhaps find out maybe I just forgot to mention it in the video, and I will give you a response. Or if I was not having an answer, I'll just further pray for you and until God reveals. So yes, that's all I had for you in today's video. I'm still trying to think if I can't recall. If I don't recall, then that's all I had for you in today's video. Just make sure you DM me in my Instagram account. Also, you can email me, and remember to subscribe into this channel and like today's video. Give it a thumbs up please, and also share for those whom you feel they might need some tips, because as I was also saying, this video was also in general to advise some people who are encountering similar problems. So just share this video. Yeah, and let me try to think for the last time. Anyone's situation, let me see. Yeah, that's all I can say. Like, if things are not working out in some of the situations, maybe something might be wrong. And I think I'm going back to the same things that I said. So yes, that's all I had for you in today's video. And as for me, Ishmael N, your priest, I will see you in the next coming video. Take good care, stay blessed, the Lord be with you, be blessed, your marriages be blessed, and your relationships be blessed. May they lead into marriage in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.